So many wonderful passages in the Gospel of John. This is one of my favorite passages, these verses from chapter 1. John is called the great contemplative in tradition. His symbol is the eagle, flying high above everybody else and, being able to perceive so many things from his perch of wisdom, so to speak. So looking, gazing, contemplating is a major theme, and it certainly is in this reading. You might not have noticed how many times looking is part of this gospel. John watched Jesus as he walked by. Behold, the Lamb of God. Jesus turned and looked at them, following, and said, "What are you looking for?" That's not actually the word for look. It's what are you seeking? And he said, "Come, and you will see." So they went and saw where Jesus was staying. And when they brought Simon to Jesus, Jesus looked at him. And he really looked and saw what was underneath Simon. He saw Peter, which nobody else saw, including him. Peter, didn't realize who he really was. And when Jesus looks at us, he sees who we really are. And if we look at him, really look, gaze, we find out who he really is. Come and you will see. But it requires that contemplative stance, not just babbling out words and prayers and rosaries, etc. If we're careless. Jesus says, stop babbling the way the pagans do. Go into your room and shut the door. And pray to your Father in secret. In other words, in silence and in depth. You can't have your mind bogged, going on a million miles, because then you'll never really see anything, including yourself or God or your neighbor or the world or the environment or anything. All that stuff gets in the way, all that static. You can't see. Only gazing lovingly like Jesus and on Jesus can make us really discover the truth hidden, who we are, really, just like Peter. And so, there's much else here that's so beautiful. That he says, the Lamb of God, behold, really see the Lamb of God. And of course, we're so used to saying, Lamb of God will take away the sins. We're used to it, but that's really a strange phrase. So the disciples are intrigued, and they go after Jesus. And of course, Jesus turns and gazes on them and says, what are you looking for? What do you seek? Which is what he says to us. Okay, what do you want? What are you looking for? Good question, by the way. Why do we look to Jesus or for Jesus? What are we looking for? Many of the people in the gospel were looking for healing, physical healing. We should be looking for healing, of course. But way beyond that, what are we healed for? What's it for to be healed, to be well? Well, it means to be living a life of love and service, as today's saint. To be living as Jesus did. To be living in joy and peace and pardon and love. That's what we should be looking for. And if we're looking for something else, like, please God, give me that new job, well, if it's meant to serve that purpose. You should be looking for true life. So they don't really know what to answer. They say, nor do we most of the time. And they say, Rabbi, where are you staying? It's, maybe they just meant, what inn are you staying at, the Golden Lion or whatever. But that's, of course, not what the gospel means, John means, or what Jesus means. Because the word that's used, where are you staying, is the word abide, which always comes up in John, right? His letter and his gospel. So we're asking, the gospel's asking, where do you abide? And so Jesus says, okay, come and you will see. So what did they see? As many of the fathers and mystics have said, they saw where Jesus was abiding, in the bosom of the Father. They gazed on him and abode with him long enough to be able to see there was an infinite mystery there. And if you gaze at anything long enough, or anyone long enough, you'll see there's an infinite mystery there. That's the contemplative gaze. So they abode with him for that day. They stayed with him, more than just stayed with him. They abode with him in that deep infinite mystery that he is. Hopefully that's what we do too. We abide with him, not just that day or this day, but every day and beyond all days, into the eternal day, where he is given birth by the Father. And we are too. So, it's very touching when he says it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you remember the time you met your great love, or your great friend, or your spouse? Remember the day you met? Well, that's what happened here. How could they forget every little circumstance of the day they actually met the one in whom they could abide and who abides in them? And of course, we want to share that good news. That's why Simon brings him to his brother to Jesus, and Jesus looks at him, as I say, and sees who he really is. So let's let Jesus look at us and find out who we really are, just as we gaze at him and find out who he really is. And may we always thereafter and into eternity abide in him and he in us.